Well, one of the things I've helped with other people to do is to set up Transition Derby. So we're now registered a transition town. Oh gosh, well, I'm a sort of old feminist. I was, around when they first invented it. I've been coming to the days that they've had sort of through the years since I've been in Derby. And I kind of felt I needed to be here because I'm in my 60s and there's a big, the focus is on your age group, but, we're still around. So I feel it's important to have, every generation represented. I'm running a workshop, which I quite like doing. I used to work with a college, and I used to do this workshop with the college, and the young people really enjoyed it. There is an emphasis on young people from Vanessa. She wants to involve you, and it's great that you're here. And I'm a sort of fringe group, the over 60s. To me, personally, I suppose because I was married to an Italian, and in that culture, women do everything for their sons, for their husbands. And I watched my mother-in-law. She was a kind of a slave to the family. I got fed up with it, and I just left college, and it just started to happen. The women's movement really sort of blossomed. And I got involved because I was typing somebody's thesis for their MA. And I was typing it as a favour for her and got really involved in what she was writing about, which is about feminism. People hated me because I never let anybody get away with anything. I was like a real rampant, and with other women, I was there holding hands around the base, as they say. So I suppose I'm not very brave, but if other women are getting up to fight, then I'll be there. Yeah. To remind them each year that they are somebody and that they have a right to expect equality in society, and to remind them to bring their daughters up to grab what they can and not take any rubbish, I suppose, really, to believe in themselves, because still most people on television, which is where the power is, are men, particularly young men. So they need to be reminded every year, and to remind them particularly how to bring up their daughters. I think Derby's been brilliant. They've never let, there has always been an International Women's Day. I came to Derbyshire from London, and I chose to come here because it was quite a radical county in the days when it was when there was a county council and we were part of the county council. They were quite radical, and there was a chief executive that everybody hated because he was very radical too. So it's great in Derbyshire because it is taken seriously. One of the things that women can do is they can mediate. They don't want to win all the time, which tends to be a kind of masculine trait, forgive me for saying. Well, I suppose they're very creative in getting on with the job. They go into detail, whereas, dare I say this, men tend to see the bigger picture. But, when there are women in the office, men don't get away with things because they'll stand up to men and remind men that we're all equal. But men don't do that. They just they tend to assume control. Who inspires me? Well, I suppose Vanessa Redgrave is one of my heroes. And Germaine Greer. I'm an old hippie and she was my hero, yeah.